So set up to do a little testing on this Busy Bee CX704. It's marketed here as a Craftex machine. These are available from a bunch of different with white label brands, Grizzly, King, and probably 20 others. They're all made by Sieg as far as I know. So what I've done is implemented a dial indicator, a straight on dial indicator on the mill end behind here so it can't be moving, and set it up to register here on the cross slide. And I'm interested in the cross slide movement. I'm trying to validate the gradations on this dial here, which says it's 1/1000th of an inch. Now, in setting this up, I noticed a couple of interesting things. Going to zoom out again here. I often lean on my big lathe, and even a little bit of pressure here. Look what it does to the dial indicator, and I'm barely pushing on it. And similarly, if I do the same thing on the tailstock over here, again, just a fingertip pressure, it moves. And it may not be much, but it's enough to throw a small job out. And even grabbing this dial here, not very forcefully, you can see the needle there. So on a precise job like I'm trying to do with this wee little shaft, it's really important to get these things kind of, you don't want to be putting any touch on the lathe. So just doing that, I've actually buggered up my register here. So I'm just going to go back and set this as close to on zero as I can get it. And this is off a bit, so I'm just going to move. This thing's got an adjustable dial. I'm just going to zero things in again here. Let's see if they're zeroed here. Be too much to ask. Okay, that's close enough. Moving this 1/1000th isn't going to accomplish anything. So what I'm going to do is dial in 10 thou on here and see what shows up on the dial indicator. Now on my normal lathe, moving 10 thou should take 10 thou off the diameter of the shaft. But over here we've learned a couple things. So first of all, it's moved the top slide in pretty close to 10 thou, but not exactly. It's a teeny bit under. So the gradations are not perfect. And for any super precise work, what I probably need to do is get one of the dial indicators that deflects laterally rather than straight on, because I don't have enough movement in here with this one. It's too big. I have a little one at home, a Mitutoyo, that goes on this way and the dial's back over here, and it would be perfect for measuring. And I think that's what a person really needs to deploy, either that or a digital readout. Now, interestingly enough, I moved that ahead 10 thou, so it's going to take 10 thou off at the cutter. But because we're dealing with a round shaft, it's going to take it off both sides. So it's actually going to reduce the diameter by double. So 20 thou is going to come off the shaft. And I'll do some micrometer measuring on a piece of shaft later to validate that, but that's what it's looking like. So interesting enough, I mean, the machine's good for turning around things, but if you're going to do any kind of precise work like these itty bitty little shafts I'm trying to make, you need another source of measurement, because this thing is not accurate enough. And the other problem is you really can't touch the lathe when you're doing anything with it. You need to be very feather touch on the handles, and don't rest your arm or anything on the bed, because it's going to twist it. I had no idea that a chunk of cast iron this big would be so susceptible to almost no pressure. Anyway, if I'd seen that in the showroom, I probably wouldn't have bought it, because it's frankly kind of Mickey Mouse. I'd be interested to see people who run Sherlines or Unimats or some of the other micro lathes if they get a similar experience. That's it for now.